We've arrived in St Kitts. It's 9 o'clock in the morning and it's 29 degrees and it's going to go up to 32 degrees. This little island is only 68 square miles and over a quarter of it is protected. St Kitts is capable of taking 2 more ships, one each side of the jetty over there. The ship docks in Zante, and here is a shopping area which is the only place where you don't pay VAT on the island. And from here you can get your buses and go out on your tours for the day. If there are lots of ships in, you may dock in the container port, but the shuttle bus will bring you here. And the tourism authority is up the end here. There are no public buses to take you to the beaches. You have to get a taxi, and that's official from the tourist office. The island is bound by official prices to every beach and every site, and you can get the list for that from the tourist authority. A cheaper way to get to the beach may be a shared taxi. Then you can pay as little as $4 there, $4 back per person, but you have to wait for the taxi to fill up. Don't ignore these guys. Sometimes they are beating the government price. We came with Debbie. She dropped us off at Carambola Beach Club, which is just along from Friars Bay, and we only paid $5 a person, which was a good deal. You can stay at Carambola, rent a chair and have a jet ski. The sea is really clear right by the club, and that's the shack we're aiming for, right down there. About 5 minutes along is the Discovery Bar, and you have to wash your feet before you go in. You can eat lobster, shrimps, burgers, and sample local beers and have a rum punch. The further away from the more expensive beach club, the less golden and the more volcanic the sand gets, but the more fun it gets. This is Shipwreck Beach Club. So that is shark steak, and this is cheese and black bean nacho, and this is a great shack. Great rum punch. If you want to come to an authentic Caribbean shack, ask the taxi driver for Shipwreck, which is just along from Friars Bay. A lot of people would just stay in the square. There's shopping, you can eat, drink here, and chat to the lovely people of St Kitts. Whereas some of the ports are purpose-built when you get here, this is more relaxed. It's like a little village with restaurants and bars. If you make for this lovely old clock in the centre of town, this is where you'll find the minibuses and the local taxis. There's no timetable, but the buses' prices are quite reasonable. Basse-Terre is the capital of St Kitts, and the circus here was based on Piccadilly Circus, and the clock, which was based on Big Ben, is a monument to Thomas Berkeley. If you get too hot, and you probably will, Independence Square offers lots of shade, and it's next to the cricket pitch. The fountain was built to commemorate the introduction of pipe-borne water into Basse-Terre, and behind it is a Catholic church. On the other side of town is an Anglican church with a bell tower, and we're going to look for that now. We found the church. Let's see if I can climb to the top. If you thought the stone steps in Tallinn were narrow, try these. At the bottom there's a very narrow spiral stair. And then I'm on my 3rd flight of steep wooden steps, and in this heat it's quite challenging. You come up through a trap door and you end up on it's like a corrugated iron roof, but I'm assured it's quite safe to stand on. And then you've got these wonderful views. So here's the bell. I better not ring it or they might all come to church, but I think I could.
No, we can't. It's automatic.
Ah.
We only during communion time, the sexton would ring this one inside, but the other one is automatic. It rings on itself.
So you can't go up there and ring it?
No, you can't, because you would be disturbing the town.
Right.
Because you have so many persons down there depend on it. So when they hear the bell, they'll check their watch to make sure all is well. And it's the same time.
On the hour?
Yes, yes.
Good job I didn't ring it. The tables on the beach are where the fishermen clean their catch, and that's why all these birds are swarming around. If you turn left out of the port and come to the ferry terminal, that's where you catch the bus that'll take you to Brimstone Fortress. We've just got here for $2 on a local bus. Let's go and have a look at it. It's been quite a walk, but I can actually see the top at last. So once you get here, it's $10. You go to the ticket office and it's $10 per person. They seem to have an excess of cannon barrels here. They use some on the way up to prop up the fence. They've got some here. Some museums would die to have these. The first cannons were mounted on Brimstone Hill in the 1690s by the British in an effort to recapture Fort Charles from the French below. It's a bit like a hike on a Norwegian fjords cruise, except I've just climbed all the way up here in 32 degrees. Very good exercise, great view. Brimstone Hill is the result of a volcanic eruption from which they kilned the lime and cut the rock to make the fort. The views of St Kitts are spectacular, from the rainforests to the sea. What is astonishing is not just the size of these cannons, but the number of them they've brought to the top of this hill. Each room has its function. There's the gunpowder room, and this is the bakehouse where they provided the bread rations for the soldiers on a daily basis. If you are bringing your children here, just remember there are a lot of ledges and holes and no handrails. It's a bit of a nightmare for safety for children. This fortress is a fantastic example if you like fortresses. Behind me is St Eustatius Island and it's 8 square miles, and then behind that is St Martin, but it's cloudy, you can't see it today. It was a long walk up and I was sceptical, but it was definitely worth it. The island in the distance is St Nevis. We've landed at a beach in St Kitts, the one that's famous for the ship that was shipwrecked in the hurricane. And now we're going to have some time on the beach to snorkel, swim, do whatever we want to for a while. It's a great tour so far. There are 2 decks, very uncrowded. There's clear instruction in what to do in an emergency. There are lifeboats on the roof. There are life jackets and we're told how to use them. There's a great steel band. You get 3 free drinks. What's not to like? It's been great. Warm once you're in, I promise. This is the St Kitts Cruise, steel band and snorkel tour. Everybody rocked off the ship and some guests came up to us and said it was the best tour they'd ever done.